Hello, Dream Team! We are back. Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
We're back with a bang, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another exciting installment of Life is But a Dream with the Makhs. My name is Lerato Makheta.
And I'm Petola Makheta.
And as you can see, we are so excited because once again, we are not rolling alone, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We have got the Makhs seniors in the building. Boom, 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 boom.
And babe, we had to come back with a bang. We haven't been around, guys. As you all know, we had a time of mourning. We had lost a very dear uncle in the family. Thank you so much for all your prayers, for all your love, and we are back.
It's good to be back. How's it going, folks?
That's what
we're good. We're good under the circumstances.
Considering.
By the way, we're shooting this episode on Father's Day.
Yes.
So
Happy Father's Day, sir.
Happy Father's
Day, Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
My old man gave me the greatest gift. It was so like I got a little bit teary. So he gave me a picture frame with our picture in it, and it was like from a father to a son, from one dad to the next dad. I was like, man, that's
I know how much that means to you, my
love. All right. Today, guys, we're talking about in-laws. In-laws, the drama of in-law. I know you guys want to have this topic, baby. This is a hot topic, guys. People are just topic. I mean, especially when we look in our DMs, we're just like, yo, guys, people. And sorry, guys, we don't mean to laugh and whatever because, like, it's a serious issue. Like, people really have in-law issues.
Are you ready to get into it?
I'm ready to get into it. Okay.
It was the summer of 2008. She said, I booked a couple at a prom like a date. Now raise it last 10 years of matrimony on cake. We celebrate. Now we're stronger together. Never better. Go-getters, trendsetters, Black Panthers, the anthem. We the Makhs and we only getting better. Ayy. Life is but a
dream. So, family. You know, when Lerato and I we bounced it off with the folks to say let's talk about this in-law relationship situation, I felt like I didn't have much to contribute because I've got such a fantastic relationship with my in-laws. And I'm not just saying it because they are here. You know, they're not paying me to say this, by the way. I do have a fantastic
we paid you. We paid your family cows, Baba.
But I think, my love, something has to be said about how you managed the relationship in the beginning. Because we went through a stage, sort of like a teething phase, where we were learning each other. I think Mama and Papa were learning me. I was learning them. But I found that you came in and you sort of just managed the relationship.
And to be honest, I didn't know to do that until I was faced with it, until I was faced with, a little bit of tension and not realizing that, gosh, actually these issues exist. And this is what we want to talk about today. So, folks, what we want to ask you is, what are the common issues that you find when counseling young couples, old couples, people that have been in new marriages, people that have been in marriages for a long time? What are the common issues that come up between couples?
I'll let you that to sort of open that, but let me just open by saying, in a dramatic sense, there are different characters and different players in this scenario, in this drama. There are the parents, both mom and dad on both sides. There are the steerings, the main characters, the people who are getting married. And then there are the aunts and the siblings. All those people play a role in this entire drama. And I think what we'd like perhaps to start with is, we come to a situation where the two people have introduced everybody to each other. We would not have known each other without the two of you introducing all of us because of love. Now, one would expect that love is such a beautiful thing. Rightfully, everything will fall into its rightful place. However, there are things that we bring characters, we bring cultures, we bring fears, we bring all these things and somehow, and expectations that somehow the chemistry goes right or goes wrong. So maybe we start with this whole thing of living and cleaving.
Sure.
And let me start off by saying this one. The problem is that with boys, we raise big boys and not men.
Sure.
We sometimes raise big boys and not men. And therefore, we then say, hey, so basically what we're asking Petula to do is to babysit you because of and so anytime Petula cries or complains about anything, Mama says,
Sure.
Because you are a big boy, we have not prepared you to become a man. And that is one of the serious issues, at least in the black communities, which is why then, which is why then she leaves her home, you don't. A ke ro bona ntate Mofokeng ma makgetha o hlokahetse mme o sana le 72 jwale wena jwalo ka mjalefa le tla dula ka tlung mme o dumetse o dula ko garage because ha re tsebo ro tla hlokagala neng aba hana o hlokagala for 20 years. What's happening all that time to Lona?
Mama, sorry, before we speak to Mama, Papa, what you're saying is so interesting because Lerato and I think in our previous installments, we spoke about how we had expectations getting married, right? But we spoke about those expectations. But when we get married, we never came to you and talked about the expectations that Mama and Papa would have coming from you and the expectations that I would have, you know. But I think just bring also our experience just a little bit in. I found that with Mama and Papa, they were just happy that their son was happy.
Yeah.
And that's what I find that, you know, and guys, I'm not bragging, like, you know, like you both are so amazing to me. And I find that you are just happy that Lerato is happy. And I find that you just love me for me because your son is happy. There aren't, you know, weird expectations, you know, that are not met, that are unmet. So let's also talk about that in terms of leaving and cleaving. What are those expectations that in-laws have, you know?
Yeah. Where it gets mixed is the misconceptions. Where ladies leave, it's a given. Men don't leave. They can live physically, but not emotionally.
Okay, that's what you mean. Sure.
Under the banner that says Umufuki. So your home is an extension of this home. When I come to your house, you know, and you find this thing is perpetuated in that it's an expectation from the whole family. They want to come there and act like this is the Makheta homestead. And to an extent of in other families, you find other people having a right to order your wife around. The question is, who is she in your house, both of you?
If in the sense ya hore Lerato akere buejwale sekwena jalo ka ba Makheta. And if you don't ask the question, okay, how about we buejwalo as a family? Yena ke ma.
Who is she? Who is she? When you juxtapose the two people, is there one who has a higher pedestal, or what? what is she? Is she a woman who's come to breed? When is she
That's
part of this?
Okay.
Let me throw this one
Sure,
forward.
go for it.
As it is, this is the woman whose womb is going to bring the next generation of us.
Sure.
Not our daughters. And therefore, we need to give her that honor and that respect and that space that says she is going to be the mother of the next generation of this family. Yeah.
So speaking culture and speaking, what we do in our communities, hokotis, when those dynamics come into play, it's 2021 now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of gray area.
Yeah.
If you had to, I don't know if you had to almost encapsulate it on a principle, so that we're not doing away with the culture necessarily, but to say what is acceptable and what is unacceptable. At what point are we willing to have the conversation and say, oh, okay, yes, my wife, go and, especially if my wife is willing and saying, this is something that fulfills me. Yeah, I would love to fulfill this part of our culture. But for somebody who's not that way inclined, what is the underlying principle that they can, go back to?
When we look at the bigger picture, the word hokotisa, it's sort of when a wife is orientated about a family.
Okay.
The family in which she's getting married, into which she's getting married.
Yeah.
The underlying principle for me is, why should it be painful?
Sure.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So she comes to my home because she's married to you, but I have to get my cues from you.
Okay.
Because,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, because I have a way in which I run my home, but that's not transferable. She is an individual. She was brought up at her home. She came with principles, with everything. She came complete. So I might advise, okay, in the Makheta family, we prefer this and this like that.
Yeah.
But not condescending in that I treat her as though she came being blank. And she is coming to learn. That's not fair. Because
And as though everything about her family is wrong or
It's
and
wrong
inferior.
or
irrelevant.
or has to be eradicated. So I still have to celebrate that she was brought up in the Molewa family, and she brings with her the cream, the good, the everything from that family. Actually, you are at an advantage because she's carrying herself and everything good from there. So when I say, why should it be painful? Sometimes I feel people listen to other people or street culture or what.
Yeah.
It's as though people sit down and say, this is how a Makoti has to be treated. And they break this poor child. And ask yourself this question. What about your daughters? I've got daughters. How will I feel if they are handled that way wherever it is that they are going? So, all in all, I find the two people come together because they love each other.
Yeah.
There are no in-law problems. There are son problems.
So let's
Sure.
talk about that.
Let's talk about
Let's-
that.
let's-
Maybe
let's-
before we jump into
Yeah,
that, what
yeah.
Mama's saying is so interesting because I remember the other day, but I know that Papa uses the word Makoti as a title of honor.
Yes.
Right? I know how he uses
Yeah.
it. It's
Yeah.
not an oppressive
Sure.
word. And I said to Papa, Papa, now that word,
Yeah.
graduate delay.
Yeah.
I'm a daughter of this family.
Sure.
And it's interesting because Mama's talking about being initiated into the family. So I feel like, I've been in the family for 11 years. I've adopted the culture. So now I'm part of the family. I guess I'm makoti.
Yes.
And then Papa was like, okay, we'll change it. Rutaibiza Morati.
Daughter.
No.
And I was like, yes.
Guys, the Bible says you do not have because you do not ask. Yeah, so
to your question.
Yeah. Which was, sorry, it only hit me after you said it.
Yeah.
We don't have in-law problems.
Sure.
We have
Son problems.
Yeah.
Sons who do not take their position.
Mm.
You have a home. I can't come there and spook you around. It's your home. I come to your home, I'm comfortable in a chair. Because it's not my house. It's her house.
Here's the principle.
Yeah.
You, as a team, but led by you,
Yes.
you teach everybody how they should regard your family.
This family. Including children.
Sure.
You teach
Yeah.
us, you teach her parents, you teach her bosses and your bosses. You teach your
And your
employers.
siblings and
You teach
siblings.
your employers that I'm no longer ready to just be flown to Mauritius on an assignment. Neki panda ke batla tjhelete ya lobola. I've got my wife now. You can't just ship me around. Let's talk about that. You teach the church. You teach the boys. You teach the band. You teach everybody how to regard this union. And if they continue to disregard the parameters, you must take the blame that you are not calling them to order.
As a husband.
That's tough.
And
That's
so-
a
and
tough
it's
lesson.
very tough, eh?
It's a tough lesson.
Yeah.
Because I have to take responsibility for the fact that it's easy. It has been easy for me to say, but baby, it's work.
Yes.
It's been easy for me to, but you don't understand. Like, we said that things weren't going to change after we got married. Why are they changing? I'm just going out with my boys.
So, baby, I think the work one is a bit easier. So, I think when it comes to in-laws, you got married very young, man.
Yeah.
You were 24, and you were still a child of this family. So now, how do you then the next day become someone who can stand up to your parents and sort of now be a voice to say, no, guys, but this is my family. In this family, what is the right approach, Batswadi? How do you...
I have a responsibility to mentor him into that manhood. And I can advise, but I cannot send him around like he's 12 years old.
Sure.
I can say, listen, please talk to Mabakwena. Yes, I'd like you to go with me on this speaking engagement.
Was it easy for you, Papa? I mean, because you guys are counselors.
Yeah, what was that?
What was the experience
What was
like?
your
'Cause
personal
I don't think we've
experience
never
with
really
me
spoken
and
about
us?
it.
It has never been an issue. We expect of people what we expect of us. It has never been an issue. For instance, respect. I respect you as a family.
Yeah.
I won't impose, I won't do anything. I won't ask questions. I wait for you to say something. But respect.
Let me say a perfect example. We have a family lunch,
Yeah.
and we've always had full house.
Yeah.
And then Lerato comes and says, my wife and I have decided 1 year we're going to be here.
Yeah.
The following year we're going to be at Molewas.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was shocked.
Christ.
I thought,
Upset.
no. No. No, it's
That's
the
a good
truth.
example.
It just blew the fuses.
Yeah.
But then I thought, if I am true to the principles that I espouse, that I uphold, rightfully I should respect that.
Sure.
I am the one child from my home and everywhere who's been to be this hard-headed. This is the decision that my wife and I have made.
Sure.
Please respect it.
it.
Now, I'm saying please, but even if you don't respect it, I'm going to do it anyway.
Sure.
All right?
Yeah.
So that's the one example that just says I had to learn to live with that.
Yeah.
Because I don't do it that way.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes it's easier to be comfortable with what we have when there isn't a culture at her home.
Sure.
Or maybe in my home.
Yeah.
So every year we always going to one place. But you come and you say, no, even if Kohamulewa, there's no Christmas lunch, we will start that culture.
Yeah.
And we're going to also teach our children. Both families should be loved and respected and appreciated in the same way.
Yes.
I had to learn.
Yes.
Sure.
And let me
Thank
throw,
you for being honest about this.
Yeah.
let me throw this one in. You find, I'm talking now about the people that come for counseling. You find the practice was with one family and not with the other family.
Yeah.
The other family, when maybe their son or their daughter introduces it, they mess it up so much by coming with demands, by coming with frustrations and everything. So that is where now you need to be level-headed to say, we wanted to start this good thing, but if this is the way it's going, we'd rather not. Because you find maybe people were just looking for that opportune moment to frustrate you.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they are waiting for those family get-togethers to get you. So, you know what? You are not obliged. You are not forced. If it's not working, it's not working. Because there are those people who come to gatherings, such gatherings, just to frustrate you.
Sure.
I love that you're saying that. What do you say to young couples that are having a difficulty with allegiance? So my mother has depended on me. So my mother is single. She's the only one left in the house. She really depends on me to take care of certain things, and I did before getting married, and now I've moved out, and obviously I have to take care of my wife's demands, and I understand as a man that it is my responsibility to be able to manage these relationships. What do you say to the wife that is experiencing that with her husband? What do you say to the husband that's experiencing that from like a brother of the wife or whatever the case is?
Yes.
Let me address it in two ways. One, which is one I have serious problems with. Holiday. We're going home for holiday.
Okay.
And this Makoti is going to work harder than she works the whole year. Because as soon as you get to your home, everybody doesn't have money and they don't know how to cook and they don't know how to clean. They leave it all to her. That is not a holiday. Our advice is simple. Visit as many times as you like during the year. End of the year, go on holiday.
And Papa, can I jump in on this thing? When people go to holiday and then the Makoti has to work harder than everyone else. Why are some in-laws so fixated on the Makoti doing the work? If it's a case of, at work, they were, I was telling a few friends that I love spending time with my in-laws. So one event we had, I actually we brought someone over to come help with the dishes so that after we eat, we can spend time together.
We chill.
Right? And Mama wasn't annoyed, Hore, I'm not doing the dishes. The dishes were done.
Yes.
You know, the solution was there. I wanted to now spend time with you after this event.
Sure.
And some of my friends were like, oh my gosh, umakoti oyang. I'm like, no. Like, is it the case of me doing the dishes or the dishes being done?
Exactly.
So what is, I find that sometimes there's this
it's abusive
fixation ya gore makoti ke yana tshwantseng a etse so, you know, if makoti o tla le batho ba tlo thusa
the
it's
main
not
thing
the
is
right way.
You put makoti and you write down the blocks. She must cook scopo on a 3 foot. She might okay, and you don't care about the profile of the makoti. And you know, when you are an employer, when you run a business, you want a fit between the job and the candidate. You want that fit. No, we're not interested in the fit. We want to do that. Let me answer this question first. Expectations. You see, there are things that you must outsource. Mama only business ya the vegetable shop, and Lerato always went to the market on Saturday morning. Lerato skalibala then looking o batla re tlise wena o rotla. Okay? And so slowly
that time my wife ojule chest.
So it's up to Lerato to find a nice, respectful way to say, Mama, the vegetables will be bought. For 3 weeks, I will go with somebody that we both can trust. After that, they will take over. The vegetables will be bought. Your money will not be abused or anything. So there are things Mama's house, Mama is used to her house being painted every end of the year. Okay? Now, you are not the only child. There are other children. You teach other people, gents are gazating and paint Mama's house. Don't keep quiet, because the child who runs is the one who always gets sent to the shop. So you're treated as though you're the only ones who could do the house. And especially single parents. Hey man, I feel like I've deserted my mother because she sacrificed for me
so much.
So that emotional blackmail also you need to handle carefully, because now you are his first responsibility as a husband. Husband comes before son. Yes. Husband comes before. He'll have to answer to God for your welfare, for your protection, for your provision, for your leadership. But it doesn't mean necessarily he deserts mommy. But mommy cannot call him like a ball. And mommy will not volunteer, by the way. Some mummies will not volunteer. Go. No.
But do you feel like it's attached to, they feel like, is it a power thing? Like they want to have a hold on their children. They're struggling to let go, to cut that umbilical cord.
May they go so far as saying, I want my son back.
You know, let me give you a male equivalent to that. I think we were in our 6th year of marriage. Yes, Papa had gone on tour. Some acting. It was winter, mid-winter, when we stayed in Dubai. our house was cold. But I had made a haven of our bedroom. Wall-to-wall carpet, gas heater, everything gas. It was cozy.
Yeah.
You were a baby. One night, one very cold night, I hear on the window a knock, come. Hello? Yes, my girl? My dad.
Okay.
Okay, he comes in. Oh, it's so cold. Oh, my girl? No, pack up. Let's go home.
You're married.
I'm at my house.
And the third born.
I'm breastfeeding the third born.
Oh my word. Okay.
I said, where? Let's go home. I said, I can't. But I said, do you feel cold in here? He was in the bedroom. No, it's fine. I said, no. I'm sorry, with all due respect. Jerry left me here. He will find me here.
And he meant well.
He meant well. And, I had to gently put it to say, no, we are well looked after. Look at this, look. He said, oh, yes, I can see. Oh, okay, bye-bye. It was painful for him.
Sure.
When I said this...
Wasn't it painful to you too?
I had disappointed him.
Sure.
The pain was in as far as how I had disappointed him.
Sure.
But it had to happen. I was no longer the little girl.
I love, Mama, I love that you're saying that, because I think the resounding sentiment that I'm getting from this is sometimes, we have a temptation to call it out and say, no, but your mom, but your dad, but your whatever, but sometimes if you can look at the human nature behind it,
the hearts behind it,
right?
Yeah.
Saying,
Yes.
and this is why I appreciate that Dad keeps on saying, with respect, you then have to take that position and teach, reteach. There needs to be a relearning of the nature of this relationship.
Yes.
Sure.
And I think a lot of relationships would be able to benefit from that kind of thing. If my wife and I can always take a step back and look for perspective and say, okay, when Mama does this, where could it be coming from? Shema love, what's again? I think Wahumisa, and right now she doesn't quite know how to deal with this emotion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm just saying, let us give ourselves permission.
Exactly.
You could even say, let's do it this time. We will educate her for the future.
Yes. Because I remember after we got married, I used to be on his case. Did you visit your mom?
Yeah.
Because I
My
felt
wife is the same.
I felt like, hi man, you are too scared.
Sure.
Yeah.
Did you visit? Did you visit? Yeah. Because that's who I am. I didn't come here to take him away.
Yes.
I came to add to the family.
Yeah. No, that's exactly. And Papa spoke about touched on boundaries, right? I find that, and we also spoke about how the man is the one who's supposed to sort of put those boundaries. I find that when Mama Le Papa, what you do so well is, as years went by into our marriage, you would actually call me for certain things. If there was something to be like, Pet, want to, and that inclusivity as well also. And just also not overstepping where Lerato doesn't have to now come and be like, go high, this and this, where I'm just like part of the family.
Yes.
And I think that's what has worked so well. Like Mama can text me and I can come to you and say, babe, wait, Mama, or guy.
I don't feel like, what?
Yeah.
Yes.
And ideally, she calls you.
Yeah.
Because with me, you might be forced to be polite.
Exactly. And I give room for if it's negative. I wish I can talk to mothers.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I just get this edge. Pedro, I'm sending you money. She'll be like, it's mine, Mama. Yes.
Yeah.
We are building, guys.
Final thought, Mamza.
Baby, before the final
Sorry,
thoughts, I think
sorry.
I want to appreciate Mama Le Papa on this platform. You know, just
Yeah.
give you your flowers while you are still alive. And I think one of the things, Mama and Papa, that I appreciate about you is, I think I'm very vocal. You know, if something I I'm able to say, you know, Mama, 1, 2, and 3, and what I appreciate, Mama, you're the first person to say, you know, Peto, hakai bona, but thank you for yona, and I'm sorry. How many mother-in-laws can actually do that? You know, to say, you know what, Wanaka, I'm sorry, akai bona. You know, and I find that sometimes mother-in-laws have about you as a daughter-in-law, you're even scared.
Yes.
You know, now kidisa ko lerato, everything ko lerato, 1, 2, and 3. But I find that we have that relationship where I can come to you and Papa and say, you know, and I really appreciate that, you know, about you, that truly I feel like a daughter in the family. Popo can come and say, Mama, no, this and this inkhetile or whatever. You know, and there's just that open door policy, and I think I really, I don't take it for granted. I think I'm really blessed.
100%.
You know, so
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that.
And having said that, let's please caution people not to abuse that.
Yeah,
It takes an investment from both sides. All the time, an investment.
Yeah.
And you call and you say, Mama, can I come? Can we go and do tea? Mama, so. Similarly, things can be reversed. And it let it not be abused. The reasonableness of any side, let it not be abused.
I like that.
Yes.
I like that. And I think also, Papa, that comes with feeling like it's a safe space.
Yeah.
Like when you're saying that, because now you're building a relationship, lantana, you actually, even like Mama and I just call each other. Or Mama, all right, how are you? We haven't spoken in a while. So you invest in each other, you know, which also gives you a platform to be able, it's a safe space.
Yeah.
You know, because mama o tla monna gore ngwanaka a re bontshane so and so, and I think that's a wish that I have for especially the mom and daughter-in-law relationship is a tricky one.
Very tricky.
You know,
very tricky.
Yeah.
And for me, when you say final thoughts, mothers should be aware that when they are too demanding of the son, they're actually pulling the son. She's pulling that way, the wife is pulling that way. One of them is finally going to lose the son, to lose the man, but mostly is the mother that's going to lose out. Because it's unfair. It's unfair for this man to be between two women that love him. It's very unfair.
And that he loves.
And he loves them back. So that is why I'll keep on saying the man must speak up. The man must be decisive.
Yeah.
The man must teach both that I love both of you, but with a very different love.
And then, Mama, as a Makoti, final words, what should we understand as the new daughters in the home about our in-laws? What do we need to, and I could say even in do you know what I mean, baby? Because I think we've spoken a lot about, you know, the mom-in-laws and the struggles from that side. On what part do we have to play as daughters coming into a new family?
Daughters should realize that they have come to build. That's number one.
Okay.
You have come to build, not to break.
Yes.
And you found systems in place. You come in and bring the good that you got from home.
Yes.
You know, I was watching my sister's grandchildren. One is 10 months old, the other is 7. I was watching them play. I mean,
7 years.
7 years old, sorry. They were rolling, they were hugging, cuddling. And I said to my sister, you know what? Actually, when I look at these children, imagine this 7-year-old in about 25 years or so.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the wife says, I don't like your sister. Why do you call your sister? Why is she always here? What are you saying?
Sure.
You found these people in each other's lives for 30 years.
Wow.
You are here 2 minutes and you have an opinion. You know, you want to. No.
Yeah.
Let daughters-in-law realize that they have come to build,
Sure.
not to break. And if you find this family has a lot of issues, secrets, stay away. Stay away, it's none of your business. You came to build. That's it.
So basically, don't take sides.
No,
and
don't take
meddle.
sides. Don't have an opinion
Okay,
unless
okay.
you are asked.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes
That's a good
there are
one.
no systems though.
Yes.
And
You are
then
building.
you become a catalyst
Yes.
for bringing those systems.
Into place.
For I mean, Sweetheart helped me to be reconciled with some of the family members.
Wow.
When I was determined I will go to the grave,
Sure.
never, not that one.
Sure.
You know, so it is
Yeah.
things like that that you are a catalyst for good things
Sure.
in this family.
family.
And some of them, it's about talking to him to address, not you address. You're just a catalyst.
Yeah.
Is that your final thoughts, sir?
Let's leave it at that, because if we start, it's going to be another topic.
Do you
Ladies
have
and
final
gentlemen,
thoughts,
no,
my love?
no,
Okay.
no, I don't. I am my father's son. That's what I got out of this.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for joining us
Thank
for another
you so
incredible
much.
installment of Life is But a Dream with the Max. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Max Seniors. We
Thank you
appreciate
so
you guys.
much,
We love you
Mama
guys
Lapa.
always. So I know what's about to happen. This comment section is about to go wild, but we appreciate it. We appreciate it, and we love you. It's never lost on us what a wealth of wisdom
How
there
blessed
is,
we are.
and how blessed we are. So thank you so much. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, turn on your notifications to know every time we upload a new episode.
Yeah, and I think for me, last words, like I was saying, thank you so much, Mama Papa. I'm definitely a daughter in this family.
Yeah.
Guys, my mom-in-law won't spoil but only my dad-in-law. So, yeah.
One time, too real. Oh yes. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye, love you.
Life is like a
Yeah, boom, mamzo.
If I
That was
All right.
nice.
was really
Yeah, that was
good.
awesome.
That was very nice, isn't it?